This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Tonight, mass casualty update. The head of the RCMP says the force has changed a lot since a gunman on a rampage killed 22 Nova Scotians in April of 2020.
Bus depot blaze. Multiple crews respond to a significant fire at Carabin's bus garage in Reserve Mines.
And preparing for the future. After last year's deadly floods, more volunteers are training for water rescues.
Periods of rain, drizzle, and yes, fog patches continue tonight and throughout Thursday. Even the risk of a thunderstorm late Thursday into Friday. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. 4 years after a gunman went on a rampage through central Nova Scotia and killed 22 people, the RCMP have come out with a report on what they've learned from the incident and what they're doing differently.
The Mounties are responding to the commission that investigated the events of that April weekend in 2020. But critics say the RCMP report is long on promise and short on substance. Blair Rhodes reports.
I'm pleased with the progress we've made so far, but we are by no means done.
Mark Duhem was named to the RCMP's top job around the same time the Mass Casualty Commission came out with its final report. It contains 130 recommendations, and about 30 of those pertain directly to policing. He says since 2020, recruitment is up, training has been refocused, and RCMP now use the Alert Ready system to warn people in emergencies. It was a system they maligned in 2020, but they've used it 24 times here in Nova Scotia since then.
I want you to be able to put your trust in the RCMP, knowing that our policies, process, and training are sound and continue to evolve in line with expectations.
I think that in general, the sentiment is one of being underwhelmed.
Sandra McCullough's law firm represents many of the families of the victims.
There's a lot of vagueness and ambiguity when it comes to, well, what changes have been made.
Daryl Muse is even blunter. He was in the Onslow Belmont Fire Hall when it was strafed by Mounties who mistakenly thought the gunman was inside.
I'm just furious, like absolutely furious that we didn't get invited to the launch last night, right? This is the first I've seen of any of this, and we got this from our lawyers this morning, right?
But the senior Mounties say they understand what the families have gone through.
I'll be honest, I struggle with what they went through. I can't even imagine what they went through, losing a loved one in such a way. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what happened.
It's unfathomable what happened, and certainly take responsibility for, the not meeting certainly the family's expectations and or the community's expectations. And I'm sorry for that.
Duhem says he can understand some of the skepticism, but he repeats that the RCMP are committed to change.
As long as I'm here, we're moving forward because I don't want this to have happened for nothing. And if we don't change, we're going to lose the trust of the Canadian public.
Blair Rhodes, CBC News, Millbrook.
Scott McLeod's brother Sean was killed in the attacks. McLeod and other family members of those who were killed were briefed last night by the RCMP about implementing the recommendations of the MCC, as you heard in Blair's story. He says he's pleased with some of the progress the RCMP is making, but others want changes to come faster.
I know there's a lot of skepticism just over everything, the way everything's been implemented over the years, from Marythorpe to Moncton. And, things just sort of being either not implemented or not done fast enough. So from what I took from the room last night, there's a lot of people that are skeptical, and they want to see the changes and the progress.
I'll talk to Scott McLeod about the RCMP's efforts to change following the mass shooting. That's our Newsmaker interview just after 6:30.
A significant fire in Cape Breton has destroyed at least one bus and a garage. Multiple fire departments remain on the scene in Reserve Mines battling the blaze. The CBC's Kyle Moore has the latest.
I'm here on Wilson's Road in Reserve Mines. Behind me is Carabin's bus depot. That is where the fire broke out at around 1:30 this afternoon, according to police. Fire crews from all over the area, Reserve Mines, Glace Bay and Dominion are tackling this fire. Large clouds of white smoke could be seen billowing from the building. Cape Breton Regional Police say there have been several explosions this afternoon and some shrapnel was seen flying in the air. Some nearby residents did not want to be interviewed today, but said they'd heard loud bangs before noticing flames and some smoke coming from the building. Constable Gary Fraser says a police officer driving on patrol noticed the flames and called it in. He says there were people inside working at the time.
There was people inside, there are people that worked there, and they told the officer when he got on scene that everybody got out safe.
Fraser could not say what was inside the building, but that the business works on heavy machinery, buses, and large garbage trucks. The deputy fire marshal arrived on scene here this afternoon. The investigation is only just beginning. Police say there is no word on a cause at this point. Kyle Moore, CBC News, Reserve Mines.
The provincial government has broken ground on what is the largest healthcare project in the history of Nova Scotia. A sod turning ceremony this morning marked the next stage in the major QE2 hospital expansion project. Once complete, the Halifax Hospital will include a new acute care tower with 216 patient beds, 16 operating rooms, upgrades to diagnostic imaging, labs, and treatment space. It's a project that's expected to take at least 6 years to complete and cost billions of dollars. Paul Knowles with PCL Construction, the company in charge of the project, says a lot has to get done before the end of the year.
The full site will basically be cleared where the new building is going, and we'll be right in the middle of the excavation, and we'll be getting close to bringing tower cranes in into the beginning of the next year.
Construction will also include a new emergency department entrance and renovations to the ambulance entryway.
Meanwhile, Parks Canada is considering a proposal from the province to add more parking spaces at the base of Citadel Hill because of the hospital redevelopment project. Crown Corporation Build Nova Scotia has proposed 140 new parking spots on the southwest corner of the historic site, known as the Garrison Grounds. The new lot would make up for the parkade at the QE2 that has to be torn down.
As part of the renovation and part of the site, we're going to remove the Roby Street parkade, and so we're actively looking for solutions to replace that. And so and we looked at a number of different solutions. The one that makes the most sense, the one that we think will be able to be delivered in the time that we expect the Roby Street parkade to come down, is the Garrison Grounds.
If approved, the new parking lot would be built this summer. The proposal is open for public comment until April 24th.
Volunteer firefighters in the Brooklyn area are getting training this spring on fast water rescuing. It's a skill that would have been useful during last July's deadly floods in Eller's House. As Preston Mulligan reports, the training is crucial even as the volunteer first responders struggle to recover from the trauma they endured last summer.
The training scenario works like this. A person is stranded in some fast-moving water, holding onto a tree limb. Trainers showed these volunteer first responders how to tie a line to two trees, extend it across the river, and pull them to safety. It's the kind of skills these volunteers say they need to learn.
We have to prepare for the future. We don't know. People say this, is a 1 in 1,000-year storms, but I don't know. These are becoming more frequent.
And paddle. This training is happening on the Meander River. It runs through Smiley's Provincial Park campground, where last July floodwaters tore down a bridge, and volunteer firefighters scrambled to help those stranded.
Some of our members are still, traumatized from the incidents, and so we're very careful how we move forward.
Training for disaster scenarios is one thing, but reliving the trauma of the real thing makes it even harder.
Well, for some people, just even a heavy rainfall, the sound of the water is enough to trigger some of the flashbacks from.
4 people died during the flooding last year near Brooklyn. Trainer Jürgen Weigelt says few people understand what it's like to be first responders during events like that. And he says he believes only those who've been through it can help those who are struggling.
So there's moments when you see that tears coming up, emotions coming up, fear comes up. And then you have to understand that person. You have to take him to the side and talk to him and give him the opportunity so he opens up himself. So he is feeling trust to you, so he can talk to you.
10 members of the Brooklyn Volunteer Fire Department are getting trained on fast water rescue. More exercises are planned for early next month. Preston Mulligan, CBC News, Halifax.
All right, let's talk weather now. Ryan Snoddon with us in the studio.
Yeah, kind of a dreary forecast ahead of us.
It's not looking bright and sunny, that's for sure. In fact, the exact opposite. Rain, drizzle, fog, quite similar to what we had today, except add in some heavier pockets of rain, even the risk of a thunderstorm. Again, it has been so foggy along the Atlantic coastline today. Fog patches even further inland. We've had some showers, we've had some drizzle. At least it's been mild, and that will continue as well. But note as we look off to the west and southwest, this line of rain working its way up the eastern seaboard. Also, this low here is also spinning moisture into the mix. These brighter colors, this is moisture in the atmosphere, subtropical moisture that is going to be all working its way into our region. What this means is we're going to really up the chances of heavier downpours, especially late tomorrow into Friday before this all clears on Saturday. By the time it clears, a lot of rain, especially for New Brunswick, edging into western Nova Scotia. This is our best chances of 50 to 100 millimeters. And yes, widespread 40 to 80 millimeters looking set for basically the western third of the province. And then amounts will drop as you work your way east, but still 30 to 50, maybe 60 millimeters along the Atlantic coastline, including for the Cape Breton region in Sydney. A little bit less perhaps up towards the north and east, but a soaking for all of us for sure. Make sure your sump pumps are ready to go, rubber boots, rain jackets, and yeah, if you can make sure that that water has an exit route from your property, best to do so. As you can see, it is just going to be coming down. Now, note for tonight, showers, drizzle. We get into these darker greens, yellows. These are heavier periods of rain, kind of later tomorrow, more so for tomorrow night, Thursday night in through Friday morning. This is when we'll see our best chances of some thunderstorms in the mix as well. Temperatures staying quite mild. Those periods of rain continue on Friday, and then that low will finally come through for Friday night into Saturday. As it moves to the north, we'll see, yes, accumulating snow in New Brunswick Friday night into Saturday morning if you're traveling for Easter weekend there. Here in Nova Scotia, we will mix to at least a few flurries for the Saturday time frame as this all clears out. But a long road ahead and a foggy one at that. That's the other big note, Tom and Amy. Travel, make sure you take your time. Fog patches remain in the mix right through Friday.
Right, good advice there. Okay, thanks so much, Ryan.
Thank you.
Elmsdale residents and businesses are looking for answers after repeated flooding in the area. As the CBC's Luke Ettinger reports, they are getting limited information from both the municipality and the province.
So that's our second sump pump now.
What happened to the first one?
It's in here, still running.
Chris Ainsworth has a second line of defense against flooding in his Elmsdale basement. He installed a backflow valve in addition to a sump pump. The basement is still undergoing repairs after the most recent flood in February.
This is our third time now. And our deductible went from $500 to $5,000.
Ainsworth has contacted the municipality and province. The Department of Public Works says work has been done in the area to help mitigate runoff. And an inspection in February found culverts and ditches in the subdivision are operating properly. But the department says water cannot drain away when there's a high tide in the Shubenacadie River. The municipality also says Elmwood is an area of potential study for flood mitigation.
There's no plan in place, but yet here they are building a whole upper part of the subdivision. It doesn't fix anything. It's going to make it worse.
Area businesses have also weathered flooding. Amid record rainfall in July, retail businesses and Elmsdale Lumber Company were underwater. But some of the community felt the lumber yard is part of the problem. The yard has a 4-foot wide culvert under the property which lets water flow from the subdivision through culverts below Highway 2. But Vice President Mark Wilbur says water backs up after it leaves the lumber yard.
It's a very emotional thing, I feel, when someone's house is filling with water and everybody's looking for a place to lay the blame. Unfortunately, this isn't the place.
CN Rail says culverts in the area are operating properly. Meanwhile, Ainsworth is maintaining his ditch and even built a pond in his backyard with hopes of giving water a place to go.
Oh, there used to be a brook that ran in between this street and this street. So it all blocked up somewhere. So this water used to go down to the beginning of the subdivision as well. So
he's worried the problem may get worse as the subdivision expands, and with few details on what could fix the issue, leaves him preparing to protect his home for the next time water levels rise. Luke Ettinger, CBC News, Elmsdale.
The Nova Scotia government is indexing income assistance rates to keep up with inflation. The rates will be tied to the Consumer Price Index and will rise by 2.5% in 2024-25. The change will be implemented on July 1st with payments retroactive to April 1st. That will mean an increase of about $35 a month for people living on low incomes. According to the province, there were just over 23,000 income assistance recipients in the province as of February 1st. Community Services Minister Brenda McGuire announced the change at the start of today's sitting at Province House.
We know there's a lot more to do. We know there's a lot more to do. But what this does is give some stability to people on income assistance rates. And it also allows us to continue to work with them on what we need to do to break the cycle of poverty, which is one of my main reasons why I got into this and one of the main reasons why I put my name on the ballot.
The indexing will cost the government $7 million.
A new study shows migrant workers in Nova Scotia face discrimination, overcrowded housing, and wage theft, despite regulations meant to protect them. The report from researchers at Dalhousie University is based on interviews with 15 workers from Mexico, most of whom were employed through the federal Seasonal Agricultural Worker Program. Some workers said up to 50 people were crowded into one housing facility that did not have adequate bathrooms or kitchens. The report recommends the Government of Canada grant permanent residency to temporary foreign workers to give them the same protections and the same access to the same health care and social services that citizens have.
CBC Nova Scotia picked up 5 nominations for this year's Atlantic Journalism Awards.
One of those nominations is for this show. CBC Nova Scotia News was nominated for Best Newscast for our show on May 29th of last year. That show was on a Monday, the weekend after 2 major wildfires broke out in the province.
New Plate Special also got nominated for Best Feature. The series takes a look at the emerging international food scene in Halifax.
Each year, the AJs honor journalistic excellence and achievement for print, radio, TV, and digital news in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and Newfoundland and Labrador. We're off for our first quick break in the program.
There is a lot more to come on CBC Nova Scotia News. Ottawa makes a major announcement on housing affordability ahead of the next federal budget next month.
A federal inquiry into foreign election interference by China, India, and Russia begins public hearings in Ottawa.
Yes, a misty day in Herring Cove. Ryan is back next with the full weather forecast. We'll see you after the break.
Yeah, soggy out there, and boy, it sounds like some significant rainfall in our near
Good
future.
thing Ryan is so sunny, right?
He balances it all out, doesn't he?
Thank you, Amy. Thank you. Listen, I'm going to be keeping my head low over the next few days. It's this is a tough time of year, right? Everybody's expectations, spring is here. Things are going to, I mean, at least it's going to warm up.
Yeah, and it's still March,
there is
right?
that. Yeah, double digits.
And it is still March, for sure.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're getting all the foggy weather out of the way now.
Are we? Okay.
Okay. That's what I'm going with. Let's have a live look at our...
Is the camera actually working?
That is a live shot.
That's a harbor cam.
That is the Nova Scotia webcam shot of the McKay Bridge.
Great television.
Okay. Yeah. Sums it up nicely, doesn't it?
So the McKay is there somewhere.
Wow.
In
That's
the
funny.
fog, drizzle, and yes, 5 degrees. You look at the visibility, and it has been at 0 all day at Shearwater, and basically under 300 meters all across the peninsula. It does improve as you work your way a little bit, but the airport at 200 meters, Yarmouth at 200 meters. You can see, Greenwood at 19 kilometers. So certainly improvements as you work your way away from the Atlantic coastline, though we have been looking at fog patches even further inland. And listen, this is the time of year, right? The water temperatures are around 2-3 degrees, 4 degrees at the most along that Atlantic coastline. So if you're along the coast, it's going to be a bit cooler. Shelburne kind of bumping the trend there, though, at 10 degrees at last check. Note 1 at Ingonish Beach with an onshore flow there, yet 10 at Cheticamp. 48 kilometer per hour gusts at last, sustained wind rather, at the last check at Grand Etang, 33 at Caribou Point, 22 at Amherst, and we are looking at some gusts upwards of 60 in Grand Etang right now. Note the green here, these are just showers, drizzle, and yeah, that foggy flow does continue. There's the stream of moisture we're tracking all the way from the Gulf of Mexico that's going to be working its way up into our region over the next 48 hours. Tonight, fog patches continue. Temperatures will range from 7 to 10 degrees for the mainland. Will be steady around 5 for most of Cape Breton, though likely milder right along in the Inverness coastline, likely still 7 or 8 degrees there for overnight lows. Those winds from the south, 20, and yes, fog patches will be an issue tonight and for tomorrow. And so that early morning drive was white knuckle for some folks today, and it'll be the similar story again tomorrow with those fog patches in the mix. Note the steadier rains off to our west and northwest through a good chunk of tomorrow, but starting to edge in to Yarmouth, Digby, and the Valley and up towards Amherst as we work our way throughout the afternoon. More drizzle and fog, and yes, lighter rains possible for the Atlantic coastline and into Cape Breton, where we're looking at light rain, drizzle, and those fog patches continuing 9 to 13 across Cape Breton tomorrow. 7 right along the South Shore region, but we'll squeeze into the 12, 13, 14 range again for the Northumberland Shore. 12 to 14 degrees for the Fundy and Valley region for tomorrow. And again, the fog patches will be in the mix, especially along the Atlantic coastline tomorrow. Temperatures ranging from 8 to 14 in through the South Shore region. And Halifax again, likely more like 5, 6 degrees right along the coast, but working our way inland, we'll find some double digits for tomorrow, thanks to a stronger southerly flow, and that will continue for Friday. Temperatures ranging once again between 10 and 14 for many of us, but cooler in those onshore winds. And Friday is a day when we'll see those heavier downpour potential because of that tropical moisture that's going to be working its way in. Here it is here, kind of set up over Maine and New Brunswick, and then it will kind of migrate eastward Thursday night in through Friday. You can see these pockets of yellow. These are the better potential for these heavier downpours through Thursday night, through Friday, and then that low will come shooting through the province. Finally, the center of the low on Friday night will mix to westerly flow and mix to some flurries on the backside of the system as it does depart. And before we get there, again, heaviest rain looking set around the Bay of Fundy down into Digby and Yarmouth. That's our best chance of 50 millimeters, as much as 100, 40 to 80 millimeters for basically the western third of the province, and then amounts again will drop off, especially towards the north and east, but a lot of rain. And so make sure, again, the sump pumps are working, and make sure that you are prepared any way you can. Well, thankfully, clearing out for Easter, as we said, Sunday looking quiet, some sunny breaks in the mix, and they'll be welcomed by the time we get there.
I think so.
I should think. Okay, thanks so much,
Thanks,
Ryan.
Ryan.
Thank you.
Up next, I'll talk with Scott McLeod. His brother was killed in the mass shooting. We'll get Scott's reaction to the RCMP's update on making changes since the tragedy. That's our Newsmaker interview.
Please stay with us. You are watching CBC Nova Scotia News.
Four years after a gunman went on a rampage through central Nova Scotia and killed 22 people, the RCMP have come up with a report on what they've learned from the incident and what they're doing differently. Scott McLeod's brother Sean and Sean's partner, Atlanta Jenkins, were killed in the attacks. Scott is also on a committee monitoring the progress of implementing the Mass Casualty Commission's recommendations. So, Mr. McLeod, I know you were at an RCMP briefing last night with other family members of those who were murdered. Did people in that room think the RCMP is progressing quickly enough on the MCC recommendations?
I know there's a lot of skepticism just over everything, the way everything's been implemented over the years, from Mayerthorpe to Moncton, and things just sort of being either not implemented or not done fast enough. So from what I took from the room last night, there's a lot of people that are skeptical, and they want to see the changes and the progress, and rightfully so, because I mean, Canadians deserve to not have to worry about their safety and security that way. But I know from the report that they gave us last night and the question and answer, I mean, I'm seeing some progress, which is, to me, it's good.
Where are you seeing the progress? What are you seeing that you're liking?
Well, during the commission, one of the things that I pushed for was to work on the alert ready system. It was never being used. Now they're using it on a regular basis. Based on the questioning last night, it still takes a fair little bit of time to get an alert out. But that, I know that can be streamlined to make it a better process.
It can still take up to 45 minutes for an alert to go out. Is that right?
Yeah, they told us about a 45-minute time frame. And I mean, like family members said last night, 45 minutes is a long time, especially when you look back on Portapic and the fact of 13 hours and 22 people were killed. And there was quite a few of them on that first night within the first hour or so.
The RCMP talked about the better tracking of its officers. What did you think of the technology or the improvements that they've been doing or using there?
I think it's good. I know they put out an invite for us family members if we would like to reach out to come actually see what they've changed. And their radios have had the capability of being able to have a GPS track type thing on them. And it either wasn't known or wasn't being used. They have now implemented that so that they can bring up their screens for their area, and it will show them exactly where every officer is. It's like bringing up a basic, any mapping system, and it's got blue dots wherever the members are, and they have a member or an officer that's posted at that center so that they can actually coordinate the movement of their members that are on the streets and see exactly where they are and direct them into where they need them.
So you're seeing some progress in those things. Where would you like to see more progress? Where is the RCMP not doing what you'd like to, in terms of the recommendations at least?
I know there's a lot of stuff that's being done that needs to be government driven as well. I still see lots of work that can be done on the alert ready. In today's society, everybody wants the trauma informed. I'd rather see people, I guess in the terms, feel uncomfortable a little bit, but no, this is what's actually happened, because everybody is being shielded from things that happen, and then people just sort of cast it aside that everybody else doesn't realize what's going on. And I would like to see in general, not just with the RCMP, but everybody, let's open the world up. I mean, to see what's going on, and it'll give people a better idea of what actually needs to be looked at and fixed.
Do you think, in terms of training for officers, that the officers are or will be any better trained than they are now?
They, I watched a podcast the other day, and it was based off of the Moncton shootings. And I mean, they are implementing different things into the training at Depot that were never part of the regular training. So they are progressing that way, but that needs to be a constant progress. Like anything that would be out of the ordinary has to be looked at, because society has changed so much that they have to adjust to the changes in society. And the recommendations had said something along the lines of shutting down Depot. We don't need to shut it down. We just need to build on what is there and continue moving forward with everything else, just like any technology, any business deals with technology, they have to constantly upgrade or they fall behind.
Depot being the training facility that you're referring to. Listen, Scott McLeod, I know this is a day that drags up a lot of old memories and bad feelings, I'm sure, but I really appreciate you talking to us about these recommendations today. Thank you.
Thank you for having me on.
Coming up, U.S. investigators are examining the black box data from the container ship that crashed into a Baltimore bridge yesterday.
The federal government says its upcoming budget will contain new measures to protect the rights of renters, but it's not clear how Ottawa will bring in these measures or when, since some of them will require provinces to get on board.
As Marina von Stackelberg tells us, today's announcement is an attempt to reach younger voters.
In one of the most expensive cities to rent in the country, a promise to help tenants from the Prime Minister.
The heart of this announcement is about making sure we're focused on fairness. Fairness for renters, fairness for young people, fairness for the future.
Ottawa will create a tenant protection fund, a small pot of money, $15 million, for legal aid organizations that fight for renters who are mistreated by their landlords. The federal government also wants first-time homebuyers to be able to use their history of paying rent on time toward their credit score. And there's a promise to create a renter bill of rights. That would require landlords to be more upfront by telling a potential new tenant what they've charged for a place in the past. Measures the federal government says will help the 2/3 of young Canadians who rent their home.
To the younger Canadians here with us today, and to all of you across our amazing country, I just want to say your concerns are real. You're not making it up. Your frustration is understandable. This isn't your fault, and it doesn't need to be your future.
Ministers fanned out across the country today to make the same announcement.
What we're here to do today is to talk a little bit about renters.
This is intentional. Gen Z and millennials have in the past been key to the Liberal government's election successes. But polls show younger Canadians are moving en masse to the Conservatives.
Among those that said they voted Liberal in the last election and would vote Conservative today, they are far more likely to say housing is a top issue.
Normally, the federal government's spending plans for the next year would be revealed in its spring budget. Instead, the Prime Minister said today to expect a series of announcements over the next 3 weeks. Marina von Stackelberg, CBC News, Ottawa.
Members of diaspora communities appeared before a public inquiry in Ottawa today. They testified about how they believe foreign state actors have preyed upon them. The inquiry into foreign interference is investigating meddling in Canada's past 2 federal elections and whether it had an impact. The CBC's Ashley Burke was there.
Like many in the Chinese
diaspora communities say they're the real victims of foreign interference and want this public inquiry to do something about it.
It touches your life. It touches your safety. It touches your security. It touches your family comfort. It touches your career. It touches your future. You don't get sleep.
They say they're being watched, followed, and intimidated by foreign proxies on Canadian soil, just for being critical of their home country's human rights records.
They collect information, they monitor your schedule, and they send that information to the public safety in China, and they coordinate together. And them in China reach out to your families, family members, and take hostage of your family members and force you to do something against your will here in Canada.
Their testimony unfolding at this inquiry investigating to what extent China, Russia, and other countries interfered in the past 2 federal elections, and if it had an impact.
The Commission must walk a very fine line.
The commissioner presiding over it says she already held 6 hearings behind closed doors. The evidence, she ruled, would have compromised national security, but wants this process to be as transparent as possible.
Some people will feel that too much information is being kept secret, while others may feel that too much information is being disclosed.
The inquiry started to dig into the threat by hearing from those directly impacted.
The community doesn't feel safe, and they're worried.
Diaspora groups describe community members being denied consular services by their home country, facing travel bans and even criminal charges abroad for protesting in Canada.
They posted something on social media or engaged in some sort of activism against the Russian government, they have criminal charges laid against them, and then this becomes an additional obstacle when they attempt to gain citizenship. So it is a major threat.
The inquiry will hear from about 40 witnesses over the next 2 weeks, including those from intelligence agencies, political parties, and the Prime Minister himself. The first report is due in May. Ashley Burke, CBC News, Ottawa.
U.S. federal safety investigators are now examining the voyage data recorder from the container ship that crashed into a Baltimore bridge. 6 people are presumed dead after yesterday's collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge. Its loss is also a major economic concern. The port is an important link in the North American supply chain. The CBC's Chris Reyes is in Baltimore with the latest.
One day after this stunning collapse, divers are back in the water, this time with one mission only, to recover the bodies of 6 construction crew members who plunged into the frigid Patapsco River when a massive cargo ship hit a support beam on the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore.
With the expected rain, the choppy waters, and we all know about the debris and other things that they'll be dealing with. So we also have to lift those first responders up who are putting their own lives at risk to be able to bring home those who we lost, to have some sort of closure for those families.
2 of the victims who have been identified, Maynor Yasir Suazo Sandoval, a married father of 2 from Honduras, and Miguel Luna from El Salvador, also married with 3 children. Both have lived in the U.S. for more than 18 years. Maryland's governor has been meeting with families of the victims. He says they remain his top priority.
It was heartbreaking. These are families who at that time we had a search and rescue mission going, and I told them we would deploy every asset to try to find survivors. And the promise that I make to them now is that we're going to give every asset to bring a measure of closure to them in this recovery phase.
A huge part of that closure will come from the official investigation into the crash led by the National Transportation Safety Board. They've recovered the ship's black box, which could contain a lot of answers.
Everything from positioning of the vessel itself to speed, you name it. We hope to have that information to begin to pull together a timeline of events before the striking of the bridge.
The Biden administration says it's ready to put up the funds to get it done, no matter the expense and the time it will take, underscoring the port's massive economic importance.
The NTSB, working with multiple agencies, has a large team on the ground. They'll continue to examine the Singapore flag vessel, question the crew members who are still on board and any other witnesses who may have been around at the time of the collision. A preliminary report is expected in 2 to 4 weeks. Chris Reyes, CBC News, Dundalk, Maryland.
Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe spoke to a parliamentary committee today about the impending hike to the federal carbon tax. The price per ton of carbon is set to rise by 23% on April 1st. Moe is among several premiers calling for the tax to be ended altogether. He says the levy is making industries less competitive and life more unaffordable for people.
When the latest consumer price index came out, Saskatchewan today is at 1.7%, down under the 2% projected target that the Bank of Canada had hit, 1 full point lower than the Canadian average. And Statistics Canada had said specifically that was due to a decision that the Saskatchewan government made to remove the carbon tax from home heating. And so you can imagine what would happen to our CPI nationwide if we were to pause, first of all, and then remove the consumer carbon tax on Canadians.
Moe was invited to appear by Conservative MPs. He's among several premiers calling for the carbon tax to be ended altogether. Moe got pushback from Liberal, NDP and Bloc Québécois MPs to explain what he would do to cut emissions.
We're less than 2 weeks away from what astronomers are calling a once-in-a-lifetime event, a rare total solar eclipse. And Niagara Falls could be one of the best places to catch the phenomenon. The region is preparing for a surge of tourists and celestial enthusiasts. Officials have a plan in place to make sure everyone enjoys the experience safely. Katie Nicholson gives us a tour.
What are you pairing with the eclipse?
Gregory Vircha's Eclipse and Sips wine event sold out almost as soon as he floated the idea. In this vast tank, Merlot ready to be served on the big day, but he's worried his small winery will be overrun.
So for us, that's always an issue with, say, washroom capacities, with parking spots and things like this. So we're actually hiring or we're bringing in extra staff. So this is where we're going to try and set up for the eclipse.
The Niagara region is in the path of totality. It'll have one of the best views of April 8th's solar eclipse.
Everything is here that you could possibly need.
Prompting skyrocketing demands for hotel rooms at Super Bowl prices, some more than $1,000.
Most of the folks that are here are from the United States, but we do have some from overseas.
David Carroll oversees 3 hotels on the American side, 3 on the Canadian side, including this one. All pretty much sold out.
I've been in the business a long time. I'm shocked the amount of people that are coming up to this part of the United States and Canada to see an eclipse for 4 minutes. I'm really surprised. But there's a calling for it, so people They're excited.
So I tested these during the day and I couldn't see a thing.
And perhaps no one is excited as the mayor of Niagara Falls.
We're preparing for the worst, hoping for the best. We know there could end up being upwards of 1 million people in the city.
The last time the falls saw anything near that number was when Nick Valenda crossed the Horseshoe Falls on a tightrope. 150,000 showed up. The city has ordered tens of thousands of certified eclipse viewing glasses, but still expects to run out.
It's kind of like get a bigger boat in Jaws, and that's kind of where we are. We're like, get more glasses.
Police have been coordinating on a safety plan, anticipating hours of gridlock throughout the region.
There is a mathematical number, so how many cars can be on the road in the Niagara region. If we overwhelm that, there's only so much we can do.
They're asking people to plan ahead, make sure they have food, water, and medication with them. Of course, if the weather is anything like this miserable March day, all that planning, the anticipation, the worry, and those glasses for nothing. Katie Nicholson, CBC News, Niagara Falls.
Well, when it comes to growing flowers in the Canadian climate, greenhouses play an important role, but a grower near Saskatoon has been able to produce her favorite bloom just by tiptoeing downstairs.
Let's take a look at my basement of tulips. It's challenging to grow tulips in Saskatchewan because of the temperatures. Tulips are kind of finicky to grow outside. They require a lot of different temperature fluctuations, the right kind of temperature, the right kind of environment. I kind of fell in love with tulips based on a trip that I took to Amsterdam, and I saw all the beautiful fields there and was like, I want to try this at home. Like, I'm sure I can do this. I took a course based on some growers in Vermont that do winter forcing tulips. And so the tulips that I grow are in crates. They start in my garage and then they finish up in my basement. This one's been growing for a little bit. The buds are just starting to form. So forcing tulips is taking the bulb and rather than planting it outside, you plant in like soil crates. So I do soil forcing. And so that's making sure that the tulips are getting the right amount of cooling and then the right amount of growth, which would be like the root growth and the tip growth, and then the right growing temperature. So I have different stages of tulips. Kind of based on when I need them. So I would actually pick one that's even at this kind of color stage. And my favorite tulip is this one. It's called Columbus. It opens up quite big and it just is, I love pink and it's kind of such a symbol of summer and spring. It's so bright. I love looking at, super bright flowers. So yeah, that's my basement tulip grow room.
All right, kind of jury out there looking forward to a photograph from Ryan's picks to cheer us up a little bit, maybe?
You saved a bunch, didn't you?
Yeah, the inbox is plumb full. We can get through this stretch, no problem at all. Actually, did hear from Wayne Redmond. I'll give you a shout out right now. Wayne, always keeping me posted in the Malagash area in the on the north side of the province. Actually, a couple of breaks of sun there today.
Okay.
So again,
get it on film.
Yeah, he actually did send a pic, but yes, thank you, Wayne. So the sun did break through today, but again, the fog dominated for most of us. We actually are going to at least further away from the Atlantic coastline, and this is Finney's Cove along the Bay of Fundy. And how about this picture? This was actually taken late last week, I believe, by Kim.
Nice.
Clouds are spectacular there, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely.
Colors this time of year are really something.
Beautiful sunset shot. Thanks to Kim for sharing Ryan's picks at cbc.ca. So yes, rain, drizzle, and fog. That'll be a challenge for traveling tonight and tomorrow with those fog patches in the mix. And yes, make sure those driving lights are on even during the day with this type of a setup, as it is going to be quite foggy. We'll see those periods of rain really ramping up for tomorrow evening, or afternoon, in fact, for Digby, Yarmouth counties. And then we'll be watching that rain kind of tracking in from west to east, those heavier rains through tomorrow night and into Friday. You can see for Good Friday, those temperatures ranging from around 9 to 14 for most of us. We will be looking at those periods of rain. Again, those darker greens, those yellows, those are the best possibility of downpours and even the risk of some thunderstorms in the mix for Thursday night and Friday. The center of the system, yeah, it's coming. There it is. And we'll be watching that finally lift off to the north. And with that, the end of that stream, that fire hose coming in from the south. And we'll watch some drier air wrapping into the backside of that system. Before we get there, though, a significant shot of rain, Tom and Amy, by Saturday morning, especially for western areas. So make sure you prepare any way you can.
Yes.
Damp for sure. All right, it could be an early retirement for the latest Mega Millions winner in the U.S.
Someone recently bought the winning ticket in New Jersey. Now they're in line for a $1.3 billion check.
That's billion with a B. The jackpot has gone without a winner for a whole year. The Mega Millions website says this is the 5th largest jackpot ever in the history of the game.
Smiles there, don't you think?
Yeah.
They don't care if it rains or not, do they? That's it for us tonight. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.